Hello guys. As I have explained earlier, when we create a new legal entity, there are certain mandatory steps, mandatory setups that we have to assign so that we can perform transactions in this new legal entity. Out of which, chart of accounts is one of the major setup that we have to do. So, to be clear, this chart of accounts setup will be done by a finance consultant. So here I have listed out some of the mandatory things that we do when we create a new legal entity so that we can perform transactions in it. Okay. So instead of create and assign, I'll mention generate. So this generate number sequences, we have did it. Just now I have uploaded the video. You can watch it. Now create and assign chart of accounts. Now what is chart of accounts? Okay. It is a list of main accounts, or it is a group or list, you can call it anything, okay, of main accounts that we use in our legal entity. Okay, so what is this main accounts? Okay, main accounts is nothing but, or you can call it as a ledger account also. Okay, main account or ledger account. So in a legal entity, there are different main accounts or ledger accounts that we use. For example, it might be an asset account, it might be a liability account, it might be a revenue account, it might be an expense account, it can be a profit and loss account, it can be a balance sheet account. Okay, there are different kinds of accounts that we use. Okay, for each and everything we can take an example. So in assets, what example do we need? For example, fixed assets. Okay, and there can be current assets also. Okay, when we say fixed assets, what is the example? For example, building, machinery account. Okay, current assets, you can take debtors or accounts receivable, cash or bank. So these can be categorized as current assets. The same way you will have liabilities, which are long-term liabilities and short-term liabilities. Okay. Long-term and current liability. Okay. So what is the example for current liabilities? It will be accounts payable, of course. And if you have overdraft, that also can be treated as a current liability. Okay. And long-term liabilities, what you will have, let's say you have a long-term loan. Okay, or if you are talking about a company which is having shares, okay, the capital can be long-term liability. So for now, ignore this capital. Okay, so these are the examples. So for each building, so let's say there is a building for which you will create a main account. I'll give an example. So A 1 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, this is the building main account, and for machinery you will give this as a main account number. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to follow a numeric sequence for this building account, machinery account. These are all fixed assets, right? So I'm giving a prefix of a, and I'm giving number sequence like this. So the same way for current assets, what I'll do, I'll give 2 instead of 1, so that whenever I see this main account a hyphen 2, I can obviously understand that this belongs to a current account, current asset main account. Okay, like this I can give different number sequences for different main accounts. Let's say this is liability L hyphen. See, this is the pattern that I am using. It's not mandatory that this is the same thing that needs to be followed. Normally numeric uh, terms will be followed instead of alphanumeric. Okay, we can do anything. This is the way you will create different main accounts for different purposes belonging to different category. Okay, all coming under a single roof. Okay, these all together is called as a single chart of accounts. Okay, so I'll show you in dynamics the chart of accounts that are already created so that we can get a picture. So this is a newly created legal entity, MKSP. Okay, so here I'm navigating to chart of accounts. If I click chart of accounts, these are the existing chart of accounts that we have in our system. So let me select the India one. So this is Indian chart of accounts. If you see 110 and 110, this is bank account USD. They have created it as an asset account, and it is, the category is CURASS, which is current asset. So if I open this main account, this is how the main account looks like. This is the main account number, this is the main account name, and this is the category for which the main account belongs to. Okay, and this is the type, what type of main account it is a asset. So just now we discussed, right, under asset we have current asset, and under current asset we are creating the main account with number and name. And for this main account, right, there are different setups that you can do inside the system. We are not going to deep dive into that. So I just wanted you to get a basic idea of what is chart of accounts. So this chart of accounts, we are going to use it in the system. So if you want to use this chart of accounts, right, what you have to do is you need to set this up in a place. Okay, so what is that? So ledger setup. If you go to ledger, here you have to assign the chart of accounts. So I'm editing and I am trying to assign the Indian COA. Like this, you have to assign the chart of accounts here and save it. Now I won't be able to save it because I need to give the fiscal calendar as well as accounting currency, everything. So okay, let me do something. I'll give the calendar. Let me give calendar, and accounting currency I'll give as INR. Reporting currency is also INR. Okay, that's it. Let me save. Done. So we were able to save it with the chart of accounts that we have specified. So in the mandatory setups that I have mentioned, right? Okay. So chart of accounts we have created and assigned, as well as calendars. So fiscal and ledger calendar, right? So fiscal calendar, we assigned it. Okay, ledger calendar, I'll show you again. Okay, so for now, this is how you have to create a chart of accounts, and you have to assign it here in the ledger setup for a newly created legal entity. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you.